headphones on for best experience. In today's video, we will explore Queen Makeda. Title 1. The Rise of Makeda, Queen of the Southern Kingdoms. Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, known in Ge'ez tradition as the great monarch of the Sabaean kingdom and in Islamic texts as Bilqis, was a historical and cultural force originating from the region that is modern-day Ethiopia and Yemen. Her reign is marked by not myth but dominance in diplomacy, commerce, and legacy. She lived during the 10th century BCE and presided over the incense-rich kingdom of Saba, a powerful civilization that controlled trade routes of frankincense, myrrh, spices, and gold across the Red Sea. Makeda's greatness was established not only through the wealth of her kingdom, but also through her intellect and political agility. She is one of the few female sovereigns mentioned in ancient sacred texts, Jewish, Christian, and Islamic, where she is consistently portrayed as a ruler in her own right, not as a consort or subordinate. Her earliest mention is in the Hebrew Bible, 1 Kings chapter 10 and 2 Chronicles 9, where she journeys to Jerusalem to test King Solomon with hard questions, bringing with her an enormous caravan of camels carrying spices, gold, and precious stones. This meeting was far more than a visit. It was a diplomatic negotiation between two great civilizations. The land of Sheba had become a hub between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean, with naval routes linking East Africa, Arabia, and South Asia. Makeda, recognizing the cultural influence of Israel and the wisdom of Solomon, sought not just trade but ideological exchange. In Ethiopia's Kebra Nagast, Glory of Kings, a 14th century national epic, the encounter takes a deeper root. It narrates how Makeda was converted to the worship of the God of Israel during her visit, and from her union with Solomon was born a son, Menelik I. This child would become the founder of the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia, which ruled until the 20th century and included emperors such as Haile Selassie. The Kebra Nagast records that Menelik, after reaching adulthood, visited his father Solomon in Jerusalem. Upon his return, he secretly carried the Ark of the Covenant, guided by divine will, back to Ethiopia. The legend asserts that the Ark remains hidden in Axum to this day, guarded by a sacred order of priests. Makeda's visit to Solomon was also immortalized in the Qur'an, where she is referred to as Bilqis. In Surah 27, An-Naml, Solomon learns of a great queen ruling over Sheba. He sends a letter inviting her to submit to God. Impressed by his knowledge and miraculous powers, Bilqis ultimately embraces the faith of Solomon. This version emphasizes spiritual enlightenment and monotheism, suggesting that the legacy of Makeda transcends politics and trade. Title 2. Makeda's Legacy, a reign that redefined royal lineage and spiritual sovereignty. Makeda's reign laid the foundations for Ethiopia's royal legitimacy, and her narrative has been used by successive generations to assert divine and dynastic authority. Her son Menelik I initiated a dynasty that claimed uninterrupted descent from King Solomon, thereby intertwining African monarchy with biblical antiquity. This legitimization was not symbolic. It formed the backbone of Ethiopian imperial ideology and its resistance to colonial domination. Archaeologically, the Kingdom of Saba was indeed a powerhouse. Excavations in Marib, modern Yemen, and Yeha, northern Ethiopia, reveal grand temples, inscriptions in South Arabian script, and advanced irrigation systems. These findings support a powerful state with deep roots in trade and religion. The Sabaeans worshipped the moon god Al-Maka, but under Makeda's story, spiritual transformation towards monotheism took place. Makeda ruled during a time when few women held such sovereign power. She built palaces, established seaports, and managed trans-regional commerce. Sheba became a symbol of female power and African sovereignty at a time when empires like Assyria and Egypt overshadowed smaller kingdoms. Her greatness was not born out of conquest but alliance. She did not seek war with Solomon but knowledge. Her kingdom did not rise from looting but trade. This legacy, building empires through intellect and diplomacy rather than force, is what cements her historical and spiritual immortality. The memory of Queen Makeda inspired centuries of resistance and pride in Ethiopian identity. During the rise of European colonization, her legend served as a testament to African nobility and divine lineage. In Rastafarian tradition, she is honored alongside Haile Selassie as part of a sacred lineage tied to the roots of Zion. Makeda's story, stripped of legend, still stands as one of Africa's most potent narratives. She did not rule as a consort. She did not kneel before foreign kings. She tested the wisdom of the wisest, influenced religious transformation, and left a lineage that would claim divine descent for millennia. In remembering her, we remember a time when greatness was not measured by the size of armies, but by the weight of one's words, the reach of one's trade, and the endurance of one's legacy. Conclusion: knowing the greatness of the past. Makeda's power teaches us that historical greatness comes from self-awareness, vision, and strategic alliance. She represents a model of leadership grounded in dignity, wisdom, and cultural exchange. Her legacy is not a myth. It is a living history carved in stone, scripture, and memory. Let her story remind us: true royalty rises not just from blood, but from knowledge, not merely from inheritance, but from earned reverence. We are descendants not of shadows, but of sovereigns who shaped civilizations and carried the torch of greatness across oceans and time. Kindly click like, subscribe, and share this channel.